Hello there. I'll bring you back up here. How you doing? So, I got into the woodland area I wanted to get into, and I've not come too far in because I don't know how far this goes to where there's a footpath over in that direction. I've come off a footpath here and I've cleared off some of these dead branches. It doesn't look very good behind me, but see the one right at the end, sort of where am I pointing? About there, somewhere here. If I point the stick out, that's the direction the footpath goes. So, there, over there, look, there, the end of the stick. I blocked that up, so I thought, well, if anyone sees me here, looks through, it breaks up my person, you know, what I look like. I'm standing in front of that sun for you. So, what I've done at the minute, I was going to make a table with this, and I thought, well, what I'd sooner do is, because this is all peaty, I want to get down to some decent soil, some sandy soil, before I have a fire. Now, when I did have one at the side of the riverbank, it's totally different, because although I scraped the leaves away and I could see there was soil there, any problem with a fire is straight in the river. Now, I always bring plenty of water with me to put a fire out. So what I've done at the minute, as you can probably see, I've cut this piece of silver birch because there's loads in here. A lot of pine have died because, you know, there's been a race to the top to get the sunlight, so a lot of pine have died. A lot of silver birch between them have also died. So cut this piece of silver birch, and you can see I've chopped with my axe a wedge shape. Now obviously it has got mushroomed over at the end, so this is now my digging stick. I have chopped off some of these up here so they're not jabbing my hands, and I'll bring you in over here. Come fly with me, as they say. So, digging a hole. Been chopping in, like I probably told a few of you, my folding shovel broke this year. I'd had it 15 years or so. So, see, I'm getting down to sandy soil now. It's got two good reasons about doing this. First of all, obviously, the main reason is safety. Second good reason is only having a small fire in here, big enough to cook something. I only need a tiny little firewall, or even this earth, to stop anyone from ever seeing any flames. The location I am in, you've got to climb up side of a hill to get here. But being in this location, I can put the tool belt on, you see, and I'm not frightened. I don't do any editing, so sometimes I'll talk some right rubbish. I'll put the tool belt on in this location and I won't be worried, not frightened, that I'd upset anybody, or somebody would go, oh, there's a man down there with an axe and a knife. Because up here, I'm out of the way, and if all I'm doing is making odd little noise, they're probably not going to hear me up here, so carry on digging. If you find any gold, leave it in comments below and I'll come back up and have a look through it. I'm probably deep enough there now. Oh, I don't know, you can see it now up there now, look, you see all that stuff I've piled there. It doesn't look that impressive, but it's enough to block the light. So, I've got my little wetlings axe out with me today. Get you people a bit better, that's good. What I've brought out with me is my main bushcraft knife, is this one. I put this together as a kit. It doesn't have a name other than Koodman. if you look it up, look up Koodman knives, you will see this one on Google, and it'll show you this one. Now, I like this one because I don't like long blades. I mean, this one is probably about 4 inches, which is normally, say, your width of your hand. I do like this little finger groove here, but a good reason. This is a strong knife, it's thick steel. I can't tell you what size it is, you'll have to look it up, like I say. But there's only 3 holes in the tang. It's a full tang, as you can see. The only time I've lightly battened with this is when, I'm looking in that little lens, is when I made fishing spears out of hazel. There's only the 3 holes in the tang, like I've just said, so you've got your 2 rivets, lanyard hole, never used it. So that means it's a lot stronger. I mean, you can see that size of that pin, that isn't the size of the hole that goes through here. So when you think of that thickness of steel, you haven't got a great big gaping hole like that going through it, you've got a small hole. A lot of these knives will have like a rivet here, one here, one here, one here. And I just think, well, a knife's a knife anyway. I'm a believer in that. That a knife is for cutting, an axe is for chopping, and you shouldn't really batten with a knife. But if you have to do a little bit of light work, that's okay. I won't start trying to smack through logs with this. I don't want to ruin a good knife, and it is a really good knife. I do strop this up. I mean, at the minute it's probably not in shaving condition, but it won't take much to put it back there. So, and that's in the homemade sheath that I made. I have brought the Laplander out with me today. That's also in the sheath that I made. I would like to try out some silkies. So if you're watching Silky, because I've left some comments here on Instagram, yeah, it would be nice to try out some silkies, but unfortunately they're out of my price range. So what I've got is the Baco Laplander. Now this particular one, you can probably see, yeah, it's slightly bent. It's actually in an S shape, but it still works okay. I have got a spare at home. I did actually I bought this one first. I paid £21 for this at the bushcraft show last year. I've used some other cheap ones before this, so I don't think this is my first folding saw. Then there's a company called Dead Zombie Bushcraft, so there's a plug for you. I've seen him on Facebook. He advertised, I think it was 2 saws for £20 or £25 posted, and I got 2 of those. So I've got another one at home, and obviously I would have had a third, but the third I gave to a friend who supplied us with boxes when we were moving house. So he did inquire about buying the saw off me, and I says no, it's my son's, which it was. But I thought, do you know what, you've helped us out with all these boxes, I'll give you this saw. So the one at home is sort of my replacement and also my son's saw. You might be able to see that bend a bit more in the blade. There you go, you can see how the tips bent. So, but still a good saw. You know, I've had it 2 years. Well, bought it bushcraft, yeah, about 1.5 years then, something like that, and I've used it a lot, and I mean a lot, and I don't mean for just cutting stuff like this, you know, just a bit bigger than my thumb. I've brought down trees with it. You know, trees that are actually bigger than this blade, probably twice, you know, sticking out here sort of trees or something like that I've brought down with this. So, because it's all I've got. And I mean, I have took a bow saw with me, and I still do to some camps, and it's a shame that I didn't get out to my woodland permission. But this will be just another little spot that I can go, oh, I fancy going up there, so I come up here and have a camp. I don't, well, I'm waffling on again. I don't think I'll have a camp here. It's not 100% sure. But what I will do is come up and have a coffee. But I mean, it's quiet up here, so I could get some silver birch, carve a spoon, carve a spatula, and I will do that another day. I didn't bring the crook knife out with me. But like up here, I can do that. I can get my tools out. I can get a piece of dead silver birch and carve something. Down by the river, it's a little bit more different, but it is a lot more relaxing down there. But now I've stopped working, I am getting cold, so I need to finish this hole. There's plenty of dead kindling around me, so I'm going to get a little fire going. I've actually brought the gas today with me to boil my tea, and I've got some bacon grill, it's a bit like spam sort of thing, to cook over the fire on a stick. I've got no pan with me, and some slices of bread, so I'll just have that in a sandwich. So I'll see you in a minute. Bye for now.